Do you notice how some people keep carrying pressure until they quietly reach a point where they can no longer return to how they were before? This is Hooke's law. Force apply, structure stretch, limits approach. Restoration responds, and quietly, pressure reshapes systems over time. In physics, Hooke's law states that the deformation of an elastic material is proportional to the force applied to it within its elastic range. As force increases, the material stretches or compresses, while still retaining the ability to return to its original form. Elasticity depends on remaining within restorative limits. This happens when external force acts on elastic systems, stress remains within recovery range, or materials retain enough structural integrity to restore shape after deformation. In practical systems, restorative capacity has limits. Systems can absorb pressure temporarily while still maintaining function. Excessive or prolonged force can eventually exceed the system's ability to fully recover. Seen through sacred science, this is how life reveals threshold. Not every system can endure unlimited pressure without eventually changing shape. Some forms of strain accumulate quietly long before visible collapse appears. But pressure is often misunderstood. Some people assume resilience means tolerating endless force without consequence. Some overlook how prolonged stress slowly reshapes systems even before visible breakdown appears. Seen through sacred science, this reveals another quiet law. Force, elasticity, and restoration depend partly on whether systems are allowed to recover before their limits are exceeded. Not every exhausted person was weak. Some people were simply carrying more pressure, strain, or prolonged tension than their systems could sustainably restore from. You do not always need more force to create strength. Sometimes, wisdom begins by recognizing the limits that restoration itself requires. Physics says, Hooke's law describes how elastic systems deform proportionally under force while remaining within restorative limits. Sacred science says, maybe resilience is not the ability to endure endless pressure. Maybe true stability also depends on whether restoration is still possible afterward. And so we realize elastic systems can absorb stress only within restorative limits. Pressure affects systems differently depending on structural capacity. Prolonged force can eventually reshape systems permanently. Some forms of resilience depend on recovery as much as endurance. So we ask ourselves, what pressures in my life have I been carrying for too long without recovery? Where have I mistaken constant strain for strength or resilience? What helps restore my energy, stability, or emotional elasticity? Have I been judging people's reactions without understanding how much prolonged pressure their system may already be carrying? Life is a lawful, intelligent structure. Patterns exist all throughout nature. Nature moves in patterns across scales. Reality operates through consequence, not enemies. Humanity is where these patterns are felt and understood. And you are the living system that remains strongest, not through endless strain, but through the ability to recover before your limits are exceeded.